Welcome to The Patty Show. My name is Patty Setiatti, and in this podcast, we'll explore the crossing point of the three P's: passion, pleasure, and positivity, and how they can lead you to your own personal paradise. We'll chat with inspiring guests, share practical tips, and dive into stories that will empower you to live your best life. Let's get the Patty Party started. To The Patty Show, everybody. Woohoo! Yes! Wow. Studio audience, we got a full crowd today. There's a lot of people. What's up, everybody? Welcome.
How are you? How's everyone
going? Good salute over there.
Yeah.
Good salute.
Yep.
Welcome back, y'all. It's episode 96 of The Patty Show. Crazy to say. Crazy. 96. Discipline creates safety. Oh, my goodness. Well, it's your host, Patty Setiatti. I have the honor of showing you all multi-passionate people that I have the pleasure of connecting with. They bring positivity to this world, and they inspire you to pursue your personal paradise. Look at that alliteration. Patty Show, episode 96. Today, structure isn't restrictive. It can be deeply comforting. Oh, that's deep right there. I don't know who wrote that, but...
That is really deep.
All right, I have that on my flashcards right here. But before we continue on the episode, I just want to shout out our previous guest, my homie, my actor, comedian, model, claymation expert, the Texas brother himself, Paul Ray. Man, this guy, we met on set for this Dick's commercial shoot. Really fun time. I don't know if the commercial came out yet, and I think I signed an NDA for all the stuff. But
yeah, be careful.
Yeah, I can't get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
But it was a fun time on set. He talked on that episode. He talks about some crazy Hollywood stories, moving from Austin, doing all the film stuff over there, and then being a full-time actor in LA. So he's killing it. We recorded it at Griffith Park, actually. Unique location. Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Patty Show is mobile. We're always all over the place,
Okay, that's cool.
But shout out to my actor brother out there. And speaking of actor brother, today, this guest finally is going to be on the Patty Show, guys. He is also my fellow acting brother.
Yes.
Yes. He's a proud father, proud husband with a radiant energy. Oh, my goodness. Look at that.
Jeez.
They call him the sales sensei. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but okay.
And the Dungeons and Dragons expert. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes, right? He always has my back and can keep up with scorpion bowls and huge pineapples. Give it up for Jeff. How you say your last name, bro?
Shih,
yes. Woo! My man.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Welcome to the
me.
Patty Show, bro. If you could
Appreciate
give a little self-intro to everyone,
background,
hobbies, passions.
Sure. Background? Okay. Yeah. I mean, we can talk more about this, but I born and raised in San Jose, California.
San Jose,
yeah.
Okay.
Parents are immigrants, Chinese. Both my parents are Chinese. Came over. Long-winded. I migrated to LA at a certain point. I can talk to you about why that happened.
We'll flesh it out eventually.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I will say that, have a couple kids. Happy to share about that.
Yes.
I think the biggest culmination was then, coming and getting a job where I met you. I guess that's probably where it culminated.
Yes, of course. We'll talk about our origin story eventually.
That's probably my moment. No, is that a very proud moment? Maybe not my most proud moment.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Yeah.
Well,
but passions, hobbies too. I like playing video games. I love sports. I love talking, so maybe talking too much, but
no, this is what the podcast is about.
Yeah.
Letting all the passions out, and it's a talk show. So this is perfect. That's why I had to have you. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect.
Let's run it back to your origins, though. You said born in San Jose, Northern California.
Yeah, Northern California.
Northern California. Were you there most of your life then?
Yeah. I was. Funny enough, I was before we moved into the house there in San Jose. This is way before Silicon Valley. It was called Silicon Valley. It was, and in fact, the home that we bought had just been built. The home my parents bought used to be cherry fields. I guess I don't know if a lot of people know, but San Jose used to be a lot of farmland and stuff like that.
Wow, that's so crazy. It's completely different.
Of course, it's all tech and gentrified and everything else. Everything's very expensive. My dad, I want to say he bought this house back in the early 70s for
They're still there.
They're still there.
Oh, wow.
Same house. Yeah, since the 70s, and he bought it for like 15 grand back then. It's like crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Dude, I wish I could find something that's 15 grand now. You can't even get a car for 15 grand.
Yeah. Definitely, definitely has appreciated.
Yeah.
Given where they're living now, but yeah, like that's where it started. I was born there. Went to, elementary school.
Wow. Siblings or?
Yeah, so I have one older brother. He's 5 years older than me.
And he was also born in San Jose, or?
He was actually born. So my parents immigrated, and they went to San Francisco, like a lot of Chinese immigrants at that time. Yeah, so he was actually born. He was born there. Funny story, like up until so he's 5 years older than me.
Yeah.
Up until I was born, my brother actually didn't speak any English at all. It was funny.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, he ended up going, and then they moved to like San Jose. He went to like an elementary school that was like a few blocks away from the school. Didn't speak a lick of English, and so kind of like when I was born, my parents were like, maybe we should let him kind of learn a little bit more,
just a little bit.
Now that he's here, so they, they let me sit in front of the TV, whereas they did not let my brother sit in front.
Wow, it's completely different, upbringing.
Yeah, exactly. Just even 5 years apart,
yeah.
It was like this kid who was my older brother. Went into school. Candidly, he was probably bullied a little bit too because he wasn't able to speak. Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, well, our new son, you know what? Let's do this a little bit differently." And and obviously there's pros and cons of how that ended up happening, but yeah, that's how that's a little bit different.
But you speak Mandarin fluently, or
no? Okay, so that's part of the story. Now.
Okay.
So my brother spoke. My parents spoke Cantonese at home.
Okay, gotcha.
But he also knew Mandarin because my grandparents that's where they spoke, and so he obviously knew Mandarin and Cantonese up until that point.
Mm-hmm.
In my household, my parents did speak Cantonese, but I always never spoke Cantonese back. I always spoke English back. Like I said, I was that kid who's sitting in front of the TV, learning whatever, right?
All the pop culture stuff.
Yeah. So my Mandarin is terrible. Like I barely.
It's tough.
Yeah, my Cantonese is not bad. Like I can understand it pretty well, but like my conversational level is like not great. Just a lot of times too because I just haven't really used it. Like you put me in a restaurant, like I got you.
Oh, that's all we need you for. Right. That's it.
Well, hey. So in a restaurant, I got you, but outside of that, it's not a thing. So. But that's okay, and that's kind of, and like I said, with the pros and cons, that's kind of like one of those pros and cons and kind of a regret where it's just like, my brother obviously turned out fine and he speaks English just fine and whatever, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But then he also knows Mandarin and can speak that very well. Whereas me, I'm just kind of like in this like middle ground.
In that limbo kind of thing.
Yeah. So like, I mean, so that part is like, So I get why like that kind of happened, but I also I think you don't. I don't think you don't miss that, or you don't appreciate like not having that until you're older. Like it didn't even register in my head until I was like even outside of past college. Like it didn't really register with me being like I missed out on not having that and not having. Not that skill, just not being able to do it. So like that was definitely, that's the pros and cons of it. But of course, being able to like integrate and like I said, like my brother was probably bullied about it and stuff like that. I didn't really have that same type of sense happening when I was in school and growing up. So because probably they're like, yeah, that's fine. You can kind of grow up and speak English and do whatever. We're not going to force you to do that. So
I kind of see a lot of parallels with my upbringing because my parents also immigrant background kind of thing.
Yeah.
My dad's Chinese Indonesian. My mom's like fully Indonesian.
Yeah.
So growing up, it's a total of 6 of us. Shout out to all my siblings. too many of us.
Oh wow, 6.
It's too much. But growing up, we would always speak English, bro. We didn't speak Indonesian. I only learned it because when I went to school there for 2 years.
Oh.
So like if I didn't go to school there, I would have no Indonesian base at all.
Yeah.
My Mandarin is trash. So I was like, I took it in school, but you don't learn anything in school. You just learn like the numbers, and like the random like phrases. To learn the language, you really have to be like immersed into that language. Like I learned so much in those 2 years because bullying,
Yeah, right.
Of course, but then you also learn from just hearing everything every single day. It's like, oh, how do I order food? How do I survive in the mall? How do I this, that, and whatever kind of thing. So it's crazy because now I think about it now, I'm like, man, I wish I would have like learned maybe Mandarin more earlier. But you can't really change the past.
You can. And like even trying to learn it now, like even though you're already like a few steps forward, it's still kind of hard, and you have to commit to it. And I think that the tougher thing too, and even myself growing up, like my parents would speak Cantonese in the household, so I'm always aware of it. But because I wasn't really forced to speak it back, like it's in my brain. Like people talk to me, I'm just like, okay, I know what you're saying.
You got it exactly.
Yeah, but then when it's like, all right, speak it back, and it's just like it's not really a thing.
I mean, even in English, sometimes I'm like, no. And I do a podcast. Sometimes exactly. I'm like, So I mean, having so many different like languages in the brain too, like it just jumbles you up too whenever you respond. So sometimes also. There's some words in Indonesian, for example, that I only know it in Indonesian and not in English. So it's like,
interesting.
There's just so much happening in the brain. But
and when you're younger, like in the your very early years, that's where like all your language is like you just like
you
soak it up. You absorb
so
it, and then once you get past once you're in your teens and beyond, it's like everything is just like very difficult.
Like the development of like the brain, it's kind of hard to learn newer things compared to kids. Kids are like, I mean, they can learn 5 languages in
definitely.
like 5 years.
I had a friend who, and this is like, if I could have done this even with my kids, I would have been amazing. But like the mother was Chinese and she spoke Mandarin, and then the father was South American and he spoke. It was Portuguese, I believe, and Spanish. And what they ended up doing when they had kids, and this was amazing. When I met them and I met their kid for the first time, I was like, "What's going on?" But they basically they raised their kid to be like, me as the mom, I only speak Mandarin to you, and me as the dad, I only speak like Spanish or Portuguese to you, right? And then English, because you're here in California, the States, you'll learn English through TV, automatically, right? And so this kid, when I met this kid who was probably like 6 or 7 at the time, like multilingual, like knew both languages, but it was so like they were so dedicated to it though, and I think that's the thing,
because right? Also you never know about your kids too. Like, what if they just get rejected?
Yeah.
And it's a lot to keep up with because I've seen those videos. I think I see them a lot on YouTube now.
Yeah,
they like you speak a different day. They speak a different language or something like that.
Yeah.
It helps too. Also, if both parents speak that language too.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, imagine like my wife only speaks Portuguese and English, and I'm Indonesian. English, like whenever it's the Portuguese days, like what do I respond back? So that's definitely fascinating. Look, parenting styles.
It's interesting, but I try and take all that in.
It's definitely reflective. Like that's so cool. It's the upbringing, man. But I'm glad that you are proud of your culture.
Yeah, I am definitely proud of my culture. And then so that was San Jose. I ended up going to school. So I went to elementary, middle, high school in San Jose. Then I went to college at UC Davis. So it's still in still in California.
You were an environmental toxicology major? Okay, you need to unpack that. What is this?
Okay. So this is kind of a long story. I ended up like any I don't know. I don't want to say typical, but like pressured younger Asian kid. I entered in school as pre-med, so I got into Davis pre-med. I did that, and basically year 1, which I think most schools will do this. They make your pre-med general ed courses like super hard, and they call them like weeder classes.
I was about to say,
yeah. They literally weed you out, and it was like very successful for me because it weeded me out of like.
Dude, it's hard, man.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I'm up for this, and like, but I did do that for like another year and a half. But then it was a pivot because there were certain things I liked doing in the science background, and then there were certain things that I didn't like doing. A buddy of mine who was in my fraternity there was doing that major, and I was like, oh, I kind of like chemistry. I kind of like doing this, and so I ended up like switching majors, and I kind of went through all of it, and I'll talk about this a little bit, but
Yeah.
like basically, I it more or less died 6 months after I graduated in terms of like me wanting to do that anymore. But yeah, that's what I ended up doing, and it's like Davis has a lot of environmental classes, and so so even they had or agricultural classes. So like even yeah, so like even if you took econ, they would call it agricultural economics.
Really?
Or like, yeah. So like
it's your farm background.
Yeah.
It's coming back. Man.
Exactly.
Full
exactly.
circle.
Yes.
All the cherries. All the cherries are coming back. You know?
Yeah. So like even with toxicology, which is like there were a lot of like specific toxicology classes, but you could take them for, but you can learn it from like a relevancy of like how it pertains to the environment. So like you could take classes about pesticides and like how things are,
that's crazy, man.
Like there were a lot of what we call physical sciences. So like earth science, water science, like soil science, and like all kinds.
The avatar over here.
I never thought about it that way, but yes,
that is the avatar. That's the caption. He's the avatar.
Yeah. For not very long. Yeah, that's why I have no hair. Yeah, I'll put that tattoo here.
We'll do it for Halloween.
Yeah, well, that would be good. So yeah, I did that, but candidly, like I did it. It was something I could finish the degree in, but it wasn't really and maybe I don't know if it's how everyone's college experience was, but it wasn't like I wasn't like, oh my god, this is what I end up going to do or whatnot. But it was like I'm going to get my degree, and then we'll kind of figure it out from there. And so that's where I ended up settling in.
Okay.
Yeah.
But toxicology, that's the study of toxins?
Yeah, more or less, right?
Okay,
yeah, God. The most famous toxicologist, pretty much like if you think back to what like who you've actually seen as a toxicologist, the most famous toxicologist was one of the experts in the OJ trial.
Oh God!
So they had this guy. He was this Asian guy. I can't remember his name, but he was basically like this PhD toxicologist, and he was like an expert witness. And then, but what spanned from that, like later on, and this is probably a little more like if I were to say, oh, you can be a toxicologist and then you can transition into this career, it would be the most exciting. And basically, what that was. If you ever watched the show CSI or any of the CSIs, so literally like all the lab guys, those are pretty much toxicologists.
Okay.
So like sometimes they would be using this machine, and like this is only jargon that you would know if you were in a toxicologist, but they'd be like, oh, I'm using the mass spec to like study like like some of this stuff and basically you could shine light through any sort of like chemical or whatever, and it can tell you what it is. Like it's a poison, it's this or that.
Wow, right? That's insane.
Yeah, so like we would actually like in college like use those machines, and we'd have labs and stuff like that and do stuff like that. And I don't know if this is boring anyone, but this
is how you become an FBI.
Yeah, but a lot of it like so that's that like that side. You could become like a lab person, or you could go work as a toxicologist. Besides going and testing pesticides and stuff, but you could go literally into a police field or whatnot.
Wow, yeah, no, that's great. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense with the OJ trial. Now it all makes sense. Criminal stuff.
Yeah, I mean, so they were not beyond just testing DNA, which they can do too as well. But yeah, like there's substances here. Like where did this come from? What is this? Oh,
someone roofied this. What? That's what? Oh my God. That's
So you could have done that. Now, it wasn't as big a thing at the time, and I wish I knew that was there because maybe that could have been the job that I pivoted to, but I did not because that CSI wasn't really super huge yet. But anyways, that's what you could do with that major. Man,
when I get that role, I'm gonna have to hit you up so I can pretend I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
This substance.
Yeah, you could be that guy sitting in the background.
The
CSI
LA.
Yeah,
I don't think there is that.
Was there a CSI LA?
I don't think there ever. But
if there Miami, there was like the regular CSI
Miami,
was in Vegas, and then they had Miami. Yeah.
The Miami, definitely. I remember that one. New York, maybe?
Probably. There was a New York one. Oh, the New York one had the guy from, it had Lieutenant Dan.
Yes, he
was the guy, he was the boss. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyways,
so. Make an LA one,
Yeah. So, anyways, so I did that. I would say, the biggest highlight of my college career really, though, was, that's when I met my wife. I met my wife I met my wife in college. So
We love that. Shout out to her. She's
yeah.
the best.
So I met my wife there, and so we were. I mean, it was my fourth year, so I can't say we were like college sweethearts the entire time, but like, but we've been together. Obviously, we've been together ever since.
Yeah, that's so amazing,
that's
man.
probably,
And that's because you were in a fraternity, right?
I was in a fraternity.
Shout out to the frat brothers out there.
I was watching your other episode with Mary, and you talked about your EHA.
I'm glad you was. I was just about to say that. Epsilon, Eta, Alpha, EHA. Oh, this is actually our handshake. Let me show you.
Okay,
So we go like this, right?
Okay.
Circle around, catch the pinky, and then we end up like this. Circle around, just like that.
Oh.
Circle. All right, let's try again, right?
Wait.
So up, so just keep it loose the whole time.
Keep it loose.
And then catch the pinky, and then circle around, and then...
Oh, the circle around part's hard.
Yeah, so ready? Up, circle, catch the pinky, and
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw, everybody!
Okay. All right.
And you guys are, what is Pi Alpha Pi?
Pi Alpha Phi.
Phi,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it was an Asian fraternity, a social Asian fraternity. That was pretty big. They've now since kind of disbanded. It was a national fraternity, and they have now since disbanded for other for stupid reasons. But yeah, we that was something I did as part of college.
Freshman year just started.
I pledged my freshman year. It was and I think maybe that a lot of that ended up with like a lot. It was the I will say it was a social fraternity first, right? But there's always like a community aspect of everything that we like to say.
I feel you, man.
Yeah, the community aspect is more like of course our bonding with like our brothers, but also like it is part of the Asian community, and like we met later on as really kind of like doing like Asian community work and things like that as part of like within our work. And so I will say like that's where it kind of all started from, way back in the day.
That foundation.
Because that was the foundation of it, and me continuing on later to do the work that I'm doing now. But that was almost kind of that was kind of the start of it.
Yeah, that's a little tease. Well, this is mini flower section for you. Flower section for Jeffrey. I mean, that foundation, man. The first time we ever met, the warm welcome, the fun times. All the community events that you guys host, like there's too many to count, too many amazing fun ones, which we will touch on eventually. But shout out to you, man, always being so welcoming, not just to me, but also new people that show up. We have so many new people that come up to these events every single time, like 50, hundreds, a lot of people, and you always bring the energy, always bring the vibe, and bring the budgets. Oh man! So shout out to that. Shout out to the budget.
That's funny.
But the fraternity life. Were you actually living all together in a frat house? Like, what's the dynamic like there?
So we ended up getting a really nice fraternity house, like in I want to say my third year. But we were, but because it didn't happen until I was there for a few years, a group of us were already established in different apartment complexes, which were like kind of the homes. It was like the house outside of the house. Okay. So we did end up having a fraternity house that was like right on campus. But we just happened to have like, my apartment was still just like, it was 3 of us, but it was all fraternity brothers, but it was still outside of that. So I never ended up living in the house. I would just be able to enjoy the things that happened there. Mainly the parties and stuff like that. That's
honestly a fun, like situation though, because you don't have to worry about cleaning.
Yeah,
all the messy stuff.
Yeah, I will say definitely it was not the cleanest of places, especially like the group. Like it was like a gym in a sense where it was like a communal shower and communal bathrooms and stuff like that. Yeah, awesome. I did not want to necessarily deal with that, but I will say where I met my wife at the time was a party that we threw at that house. So it was if anything that happened beyond just, of course, some of my best friends in life that I met there as my fraternity brothers, but also with my wife meeting that. Those were obviously the 2 biggest highlights coming out of that.
Of course, man. See, look, you have to. It's like this is your sign to go to that party.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll find your amazing wife. Yeah. Right?
You know what? It's funny enough. I have not actually met very many people who can say, "Oh, I met my wife at like a frat party or a sorority party or whatever," but it ended up happening. So.
It's such a unique experience, and Could you tell us more about the exact moment? You told me on a fun happy hour, which we will get on to eventually. But what was the whole, line that risked her
Okay.
up with?
Yeah,
Okay,
it was.
spitting game. This is our boy
Yeah,
Big J.
this
Big
is
J, come on now.
this is the absolute anti-worst Riz.
He's
And
like, don't
I
listen
think
to-
I think you alluded to it already in my opening.
Yes,
in
of
my
course,
opening,
of course.
but it's funny because I first saw her when I was like upstairs. I was like walking around, and then one of my fraternity brothers had like this group of women in his room. They're all talking, and I kind of walked by. And I like popped my head over, and of course I'm gonna pop my head over because there's a bunch of girls in there.
Of course,
yeah. And I was like, hi, and then like I kind of like caught. Like, I don't know. She says she saw me, but I definitely saw her.
Okay.
So I saw her, and then like 30 minutes, an hour later, whatever. I actually don't remember the part of whether I sat next to her first or she came to me. I don't remember that piece, but and this is culminating in the most nerdy line ever of all time, but. I sat down, went next to her, and she told me that her name was Freya. She's Asian, she's Korean, and you don't meet a lot of Korean girls named Freya.
I don't think I know any.
Yeah. But she was adopted, blah blah blah. And then later on, like I don't know, as we were talking, like I said her name again to her, and she's like, "Oh, that's really good that you like." Said my name and you said it right, and I was like, well, I kind of know about your name, and it represents like the goddess of like love and war. And she's like, how do you know this? And I was like, I kind of used to play Dungeons and Dragons when I was a kid.
You used to,
and like I had this book, and it had like this goddess in it, and I remember this name, and I used to play, like I said, and that's how I remember your name. And it wasn't the most exciting Rizzy moment as you probably brought up, but guess what? It worked.
It worked. It worked. It's the authenticity though.
Yeah.
And the remembering her name. I'm so bad with names, to be honest. Like,
yeah. Well, maybe I was lucky that it was a name that I knew.
If it was like a Rachel, then you're like, that's kind of tough. Sorry to all the Rachels out there. We love all the Rachels out there. I only know one other Freya. So that's such a unique name. So the fact that you had the Dungeons and Dragons reference helps you remember that.
Yeah, and I don't know why it just stuck in my head, but I just knew it, and I'm glad I read Dungeons and Dragons books.
There we go. Shout out to Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
And you not forgetting at the altar her name.
So, yeah, exactly.
Could you imagine the day of you forget?
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so because like I knew, because that name was like resonated and stuck in my head, like we did end up like meeting again on campus and stuff like that. And I remember her walking by, and I kind of like called out her name and stuff like that. So it was like. So it all worked out.
Look at him, the Rizzler. Yeah. Low key Rizzler. He's like put the hoodie on. He's like, you don't know him, but he's gonna. I love that, man. But also the power of like knowing someone's name is such a big flex, honestly.
I'm typically not great with names, but I remember meeting someone at work, and basically like they were coming in to teach a class and whatever, and he shook my hand, and I introduced him, and he's like, Jeff, is that Jeff with a J or Jeff with a G? And I was like, oh, it's with a J. And then he's like, okay, Jeff with a J. And then I was like, why? I was like, why did you just do that? Like, because it's like, and he's like, I'll tell you, this is like a trick. It's a name trick for me to like remember your name, because now I will always be like Jeff with a J in my head. Like, not like Patty with a P, or Patty, or it could be like Patty with an I. Or
you're
right.
You're right.
Right. So like, if we were to first meet, I'd be like, is that with a Y or is that an I? Is that not that I would be like, is that short for Patricia? No.
Hey, no, I wouldn't know.
Yeah. So, but that's like a really good way to like kind of like just trigger something in your head. So like the next time you meet someone, maybe. Kind of like, it's kind of like a name game, right?
Yeah.
Think about it. It's like, oh, this, it's like, oh, Tom, is that short for Thomas or whatever? So whatever you could say, like immediately right after you meet someone, it can maybe stick a little bit in your head. Because I will say though, like if I'm not really paying attention and I don't do that, I will forget your name
Oh,
within like
100%.
Within like 10
Literally
seconds.
2 seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
There was like
yeah.
a mixer thing I was going with my brother, and like, say, hi, everyone, I'm Patty. And then they're like, hi, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's your name again?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And it just gets more awkward the longer you don't know it. And then the worst is when you have a connection with them.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, we love playing Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah,
together.
yeah,
and
yeah.
blah, blah, X, Y, and Z. And then you're like, I'll see you later, bro. You know?
Yeah.
And you just call them bro, or like, what's up,
Yeah.
girl? You know?
Well, yeah, most people out there, yo, what's up? You know, like, yeah,
What's up,
but
man?
yeah.
What's up, you know?
You know, it's funny. I watched this. I think I watched this YouTube about this, but it was just like they said the reason why it's like so difficult to remember people's names is there's just no, because names in and of itself have like no connection. Like, you know, it's not like Patty. Like it's like if your name was, if you had red hair and your name was Red, it'd be like, oh, okay, you know, whatever.
Because you
there's
can connect it.
Yeah, there's like no connection, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why like sometimes when you do the J for Jeff or G for Jeff or you know Patty or whatever, like it builds some little connection in your brain.
That little like neural.
Yeah.
No, I've seen that somewhere. I forget which podcast they were talking about it, but like even little details like, oh, Jeff is the tall, you know, the tall Jeff, or the one with the nice outfit. Look at my man, stylish over here on a work day too. Look at us, looking fresh out here, you know.
Yeah, 2 colors. We got the colors.
The color gauge right there.
Yeah.
But you know, that's such a really good tip, man, because you are the sales sensei. So names are very important, right?
Yeah.
You didn't know who's paid.
Yeah.
Right? Come on now.
Very much so. Yeah. So we met my wife, and then that was great. So okay, so just going on with the story, I after college we actually did move back to San Jose to work for a little bit. I actually did find a job sort of in that industry related to like toxicology, whatever. Okay. And I literally did that for 6 months or so after I worked. So this was back.
What kind of work was it? Like QA?
So it was like at this consulting firm that funny enough my dad helped me get because he knew somebody.
That's how you gotta use your network.
Yeah.
Can't hate the player, hit the game.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know how my dad knows people that are tied to that field that's related, but he did. I ended up working there.
I was in Mountain View or
Mountain View, Palo Alto area.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I did that. And part of that job was literally like I would get these like thick manuals of like basically, you know, like when a new drug comes out or something, like they do these studies.
But you said when a new drug comes out?
Not those kind of drugs.
I was like, what you know?
Not those kind of drugs.
For life.
Yeah.
Let's go. Eat hot and doctor.
Yeah. Not those kind of drugs.
You just clip it. Like,
yeah.
New drugs come out, kids.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. But when new drugs come out, they have these they do like medical studies, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like you're right, the trials.
Clinical trials.
Clinical trials, right? And so my job was basically reading through these 200-page thick manuals and like making sure all the numbers were right. It was
my head would have exploded.
It was I mean, even like doing that for like 6 months, I don't even know how I lasted that long.
And that was like manual looking through pages.
Yeah,
like,
this was I mean, like today, you would probably just like
put it through AI.
You would just put it through AI and just like check everything. But back in the day, it was just like human person reading
every line.
Yeah, it was like a new entry level person who has a toxicology major read through this because I could understand like the chemistry and the science behind it.
I mean, because you also need someone with like some knowledge of that.
Yeah. It's not just the math. It's just also understanding like some of that, which I did. But candidly, it was not a fun or like exciting job. And so what I would, but my wife who got a job not too far away. Every day, she worked at a startup. It was a tech startup because this was Silicon Valley, and it was already a thing. So I would go and drive over pretty much every day and meet her for lunch.
Oh, cute. That's cute.
Her office was right near like the founder's office because this startup maybe it was like 20 people.
Oh, wow, okay.
Okay, and like her office was like kind of just right next to like the founder's office, and so I'd come in, I'd meet her. And I'd always complain about my job. And one day, the founder, he like walks out of his office and he looks at me. He's like, Jeff, I'm tired of your bullshit complaining about your job. Why don't you just come work here?
Wow. I did not expect that.
Yeah. And so like, and I was like, nah. I mean, I was like, my girlfriend works here. I was like, I don't know if I want to end up doing that. And then like literally a week and a half later, I go back in, and then I like pop my head into his office. I was like,
still stands.
Yeah. That is literally
right. Hey, my brother. Hey.
I was like, so and as much as like it probably wasn't a super great idea to like work with like your girlfriend at the time,
Mm-hmm.
I did it, and we did completely separate things. But this was kind of like the start of how I ended up like my path now.
Yeah, branching off to it.
Yeah, because it was like a technology and marketing company.
Oh, I see. No,
So that's how I kind of ended up where I'm at now in that sense. But it's also how I ended up in LA because so at a certain point that startup company they were like, hey, we're relocating to LA. My wife was in LA.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never lived in LA. I'd only come visit. And they're like, oh, hey, we're moving to LA. Would you guys want to come down? And I was like, I'm down.
Yeah.
Let's go to LA.
Let's go
to LA. And so I've kind of been in LA ever since.
Oh my goodness. Well,
that's how I ended up in LA.
Sometimes you just got to complain about the BS in this world, and the angels respond.
Yeah. I would say I was a little bit fortunate in that sense. But yeah, I ended up in LA after that.
Oh my goodness. So when did you become a dad though?
I became a dad probably. So we ended up getting married probably, I want to say 2 or 3 years after we moved to LA.
Okay, nice.
And we did get married back in the Bay Area, but we were still living in LA. All my parents, all my family and friends are all still like in San Francisco Bay Area.
Okay.
So they're all still up there, but we were in LA. Her family happened to be in LA too as well, so that worked out fine. Yeah. And then a couple years after that, I had my son. Had my son, and then I want to say another 4 years after that. That's when my daughter was born. So I have 2 kids, son and daughter.
It's like everyone's ratio. Everyone wants to have that, man.
Yeah, it's like I want to say we're like that perfect. I don't know what do you call it, nuclear family.
Yeah, nuclear. I was about to say.
Yeah. So we have it's like wife, older son, younger daughter.
Yeah, that's
2 dogs and a cat.
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Yeah, it's like the that's like prototypical like nuclear family.
Yeah. Bro, literally, my parents wanted that, and then it
came into 6.
It was like boy, almost always boy,
really?
girl, and then got the
okay.
bonus at the end, little bonus.
You know, it's funny. Like I see a lot of families a lot of times, especially Asian families that will have big families, but it's only because they start off with like a lot of girls first, and they keep waiting for that before.
Yeah.
But
we were the opposite. Yeah,
so you had a lot of boys already to start to
greedy. We're greedy.
They got
They
greedy.
got greedy. They wanted that extra girl. You know what I'm saying? To balance on the testosterone.
Yeah.
But then still the youngest is the prince, my buddy Jojo. He's like 14, 15. So.
Oh, that's
that's the youngest one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then my sister's turning 18, graduating from high school. Shout out to
my that's lady. Right. Yeah.
That's why I'm going out to the East Coast. But yeah, it's nice now. Growing up, it's it's headache to have all those kids because like my brother below me is 2 years younger. Then the next one is like 2.5 below him. Mm-hmm. The next one is like a year from him. So the 4 of us, that was like a crazy time. But shout out to my parents. I don't know how they did it.
Do you all get along?
Oh yeah, definitely now because of like from all the doing stupid WWE, playing video games, fighting over video games, and everything like that. But I don't know how many kids I want eventually. Ideally, maybe 2 would be good. Mm-hmm. But knowing me, I'll probably end up with like 4. So we'll see.
I always wanted more than one, and like some people will ask me like like how did you guys figure that out? And I was like, well, I had a brother. And my wife had a brother too as well. And we're just like, we know that like at the end of the day, there's at least one extra person you can count on, when it comes like push comes to shove. Granted, sometimes people will then have another and like you may only be able to count on one of those 2 or whatever it may be. But like we always wanted at least 2 just because we wanted them as siblings to be able to like rely on each other. So, I mean, I don't know if that's perfect for everyone, but that's just kind of
Yeah.
how we thought about it.
I mean, that's great that you guys have that already in that conversation because I feel like that's a hot topic with relationships and everything. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
no kids or want to have kids, and people are in like multiple year relationships, and then they find out
Yeah.
one wants to have like 3 kids, and the other one's like, I don't want.
Yeah,
kids,
yeah, definitely. And I think too, like, folks, especially with their careers, are having kids like a little bit later.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and so we did have our kids a little bit younger, and my son used to joke when he's in high school. I mean, past high school already, but when he was in high school, he would be like, "Dad, he's like, you are literally like the youngest of my friends because he's like, I have some friends, I look at their dads and they look like grandpas."
Yeah.
I was like, some people have kids when they're older now.
No, seriously, and that's what I was thinking about too, because like now, like when would I have my own kid? I'm like,
right.
I'm not ready anytime soon. I just turned 28, guys, so I'm like, I don't know if I want to have a kid.
Still pretty young.
I feel like I'm still pretty young, but also I don't want to be like the older dad.
Yeah,
that's what I think about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So yeah, they, you don't want to be that 70-year-old, like, oh, or they had their kid at like 50, because obviously guys can have kids older, right? And so if they have them in their 50s or whatever,
I see some
they're gonna be grandpa. Yeah. So,
well, shout out to the kids out there. Maybe I'll have 2 kids eventually. I don't even know. I might even adopt. I feel like it's a different world right now, especially you mentioned the whole like work environment. At least you don't have to worry about kids anymore, and they're already kind of adults now. How is it like being a dad though, working with the work that you do right now? Though, how do you balance that?
It was definitely harder when they were younger. Yeah, I think it's hard to look back. Well, when I look back on it now, just because my kids are older nowadays, you tend to kind of forget. And maybe this is a good thing, I would say. Like, when I talk to newer parents now, it's like you tend to forget about the things that were rough later on. You go through it, and things can be tough and challenging or whatever it may be. But when I look back on it now, I tend to have forgotten like the things that were tougher, and I only remember the good things.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I think that and maybe just as it's just a sense of well-being. I think it's better where you can kind of just set aside like it's going to be tough and there's going to be challenging moments with young children or whatever it may be, whether it be your job or whatever. If you can kind of look back on it and just remember the good things, I think it puts you in a better mental state. But it also makes you kind of appreciate, yes, I know I did some challenging things, but there was this kind of like sort of, not that I'm out past it already, because there's still, kids are still growing, but there's more of like a light at the end of the tunnel, and things will be worthwhile.
Man, that's your optimism. It's so contagious, man. Just like our videos together. Oh man, our videos. What was our first video together? I'm trying to remember too. I forgot. We did a bunch of like, what would we call those videos? Like ads? No?
I don't know. You know what? A lot of them were based on like viral like meme kind of things. I won't say like they were the first of their kind, but they were actually reimaginations of certain videos. And I think the first few you were, funny enough, like this is how I knew you were such a great actor, is because you like, I think the first few you were playing like either the barista.
I remember that. That was like one of the OG ones. Yeah, you're right. The boba guy. Right?
Yeah. You were the barista, or you'd be the guy I would be like the guy sitting, the customer sitting at the table, and you would be coming up. And it's funny, I can't even remember exactly what the videos were. I would just remember you and then you coming up and already just being like locked in your whatever the role may be, and me like I literally no acting experience, and I would be just like, damn. Well, I was like, Patty's really good at this, and I didn't realize. I mean, I didn't know you at the time, really. We were very like, this is. I think those were the very first interactions.
It was like in the beginning.
Yeah, and I was like, and of course I didn't know your background and stuff like that, so I was just like, man, who's this guy, and why is he so good at this?
You're too kind. I'll pay you later. Okay, I'll hook you up. Well, man, you made it so easy too, man. You're so easy to work with. It's a great scene partner. I gotta find those clips. They're somewhere on the Instagram over there somewhere.
Yeah. Oh
There's some funny ones out there.
Maybe you can cut a few in.
Yeah, I'll cut in a couple clips over there. But we did a lot though. I think.
Yeah.
And then you've done a lot more too. You just kept saying yes to all the.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I am not a good actor, but I like.
Yes.
I like doing goofy things, and I'm always down for whatever, even if it embarrasses me, and my kids will look at it and cringe.
Well,
but you know what? I don't care.
Life is too short not to laugh.
Yeah.
To dress up like Captain America or anything fun like that.
Yeah.
You know?
I will say I do enjoy dressing up. I'm not a cosplayer, but I do enjoy dressing up.
You've never done like a convention?
I've never done conventions, but many a Halloween, many an office party.
Oh, okay.
I will say that I have made a reputation of I mean, this is not someone you might think is that guy. But I will.
Surprises.
I will if it's a 70s party, I will be in full 70s dress. If it is we had an office thing where they said to come in as it was like the theme was like Back in Black or whatever. So it was basically you're supposed to dress up like that song was original. I think it was AC/DC
Yeah,
song.
I think so. Yeah.
And so you're supposed to dress up as a rocker. So I got this full on wig and chain and so I did that. And then the last theme one was it was supposed to be like the real world. Like 90s real world.
Mm-hmm.
So I got fully decked out in like grunge and like baggy jeans and chain.
I'll find it. Yeah, you gotta send me these later, man.
Yeah, I'll show you some pictures. But like I do enjoy that, as weird as that might be.
It's fun, like playing a character. Like I always loved theater and like dressing up and doing all the different things. Mm-hmm. Halloween is a holiday that I really love. That you can really just go all out. Some people respected them. They go crazy with their costumes, like the full makeup and then the whole outfit. But the thing is, it's also so expensive. Some of these costumes. Oh my goodness. My go-to though is usually Aquaman, Aqua Patty. I just let it out. And
you got the hair.
Yeah, man. You
got the hair.
I just let it out and I have my little toy trident, real trident. I mean, my real trident.
I have. I've done. Like you said, Captain America. I've done Green Lantern.
Green Lantern? I don't think I saw that one.
Oh yeah, I have. I've done Green Lantern. Who else? I've done some other superheroes before. Shoot, I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, I've done a few. I've done it, but those ones I think were a little more appropriate at the time because I had when my kids were younger. Like I think it meant more to them.
Oh
too. Yeah. But I thought it just kind of worked out well. It's like being a superhero. While my kids were younger. So.
No Dungeons and Dragons characters?
No dungeon. Yeah, no wizards. No, nothing like that. No.
Do your kids, have they played it before, or?
No.
You're like, it just ends there.
No.
You stopped playing?
Yeah, I stopped playing. It didn't really go past high school. Though, funny enough, like when Stranger Things came out.
I was just about to say, it's trendy now.
Yeah, when Stranger Things came out and the whole, it was funny because there was, I think even in the very first season, they were playing this board game, and it was like a Dungeons and Dragons board game. And I was like, I have that board game.
He's like, I know. The Demogorgon.
Yeah.
I can call up the Demogorgon.
Yeah. And so I had that board game, and it was funny because I having conversations with because that was one of the few shows that we all watched it, not necessarily as a family all at once, but we all were watching it at the same time.
I mean, it was such a an iconic pop culture. You know what I'm saying? Like when the fact that it ended, everyone still talks about it.
Yeah, but there were a lot of things that were part of it that I understood and I could explain. So.
That's so funny. Shout out to Stranger Things. It's also funny though. A lot of the stuff that people would bully us back then. Anime, for example.
Yeah.
Is so trendy.
Everything's. I don't even know if you want to call it full circle, but it's like things that are. They are no longer things that I would necessarily say people get bullied for now or are frowned upon now or whatever.
Yeah, because K-pop too. I remember the era where people were like, "What is this? Why are you?" Looking at guys that are so pale-skinned and tiny and dancing around. Yeah. But now, these guys make the money.
Yeah,
okay? BTS.
Yeah, so my son, who, so I told you my wife is Korean, and so, and my son is my height, And I don't know if you saw pictures of him, but he is. People will say that he looks like a K-pop star, and so like he even said he likes to go like what's the thing they call now where you go to thrifting.
Thrifting.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
god,
yeah.
that's another one that's so trendy, man.
Yeah. So he likes to do that. Like both my kids like to do that. But he was at like the Silver Lake Flea Market the other day.
Oh, they have a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah,
really good stuff.
And he tried on like this shirt and whatever, and like people like walked up and he was like, "Are you like a K-pop star, or whatever?" And I was like,
"Hey, my boy."
That's like a compliment now, right? Yeah.
You get bullied for being the
but now it's not. Now it's like, "Oh man, you looking really good that way." And I was
Isn't
like,
that
"Oh,
crazy, dude! Oh my god!"
And I was like, "Okay, cool. I mean, I'm glad."
That's good for him. I'm glad he's getting those compliments.
Yeah.
Is he gonna be a trainee? Maybe. Is that in his?
No. That's not. He's not going to be a trainee.
He's doing the traditional pre-med. Huh?
No. Oh, my son's going to be a teacher.
Oh, shout out to that.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Toxicology?
No, not toxicology.
No.
No.
Definitely not.
No. I think he wants to teach like elementary kids. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's amazing, man. We need more great teachers out there. I mean,
I'm very proud of that. That's nothing I like pushed in him. He just wanted to be a teacher. So I was like, cool.
No, that's awesome. So you never really like gave that peer pressure because you kind of understood how that affects people. You know?
No, I didn't push that. My daughter does want to go into medicine, but her path to medicine is funny because she so my daughter like loves horror movies.
Oh my god, my sister's the same.
I feel like
Asian girls, right?
I feel like there's like some. It's like I think it's like I don't know if it's like a specific gene because you like most people are like afraid. Like
I hate horror.
I
hate horror.
Yeah, I hate watching horror. Yeah. Like I don't like want to watch any horror movie right now.
But they're all the trendy ones right now. Like Obsession's really popping out right now.
Yeah,
the back room.
Yeah. So I know this because my daughter wants to watch all those things, right? Like, well, if we're watching a movie and there's like a preview of a horror movie, she'll look at me. She's like, "Dad, let's go watch that," and I'll be like, "No thanks."
No thanks.
But so she loves horror movies. But like one day at the dinner table, she looks at me, and I think she was watching like Criminal Minds or something like that, right? And she asked my wife and I, she's like, "How do you get a job like where they're like with the dead bodies at the end?" I was like in a morgue or something.
Autopsy stuff.
Yeah, like an autopsy.
Yeah.
And I was like, "I don't know, but you have to be a doctor to do that." And she's like, "Oh, okay. Well, maybe I want to be a doctor then." And I was like, in my head, I was like, okay, if she wants to go down, if that's the path that takes her to become a doctor, I'm not gonna fight that.
You're like,
so she kind of wants to do that, but I don't know if like if the path is her to be doing autopsies in the morning, but if she wants to do that and become a doctor, it's fine.
If it's part of the passion, it fuels you. You know,
yeah.
That's I think the best case scenario for that type of stuff because you don't want to put too much pressure on your kids where they're like resenting you. I remember the pressure. I had a moment where my dad wanted me to be a lawyer, a doctor. I think military was another one too. Like those three. Actor. Podcast host.
Yeah. Like what is over here? Yeah. Let me pick what's all the way over here.
All the way over
here. Yeah.
I mean, technically, all those roles. I did play a role. It's coming out soon where I play a retired lawyer, 65 years old. They did the makeup and everything. I'm excited to share that one.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a fun one. But see, so technically lawyer. You know, at least I work in tech.
Yeah.
You know, finding the balance.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about and then personal trainer. So there's still like health. So I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta make the family proud some way or another. That's it. Your kids though, have they ever like visited China then or?
No, we actually have not, and I want to. Like we've gone to like Japan and some other places.
That looked like an amazing trip.
Yeah, but we haven't actually gone to China, and maybe that's a thing. Before my dad gets so far past that he can't travel, maybe that could be a thing where like we could do that. My dad's originally from Shanghai, so like but then he grew up in Hong Kong. So either of those two places could be really interesting for us to like go visit, which we haven't quite done yet.
Hey, so it's gonna be a fun trip. You can test out your Cantonese and Mandarin. The
No,
restaurants.
no,
Only in the
no.
restaurants.
No, yeah, only in the
Only
restaurant.
in the restaurants.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like I'm confident enough here. I can go to Monterey Park or whatnot.
Okay,
I
okay.
can do that.
Go
But
to
I don't know.
Arcadia,
But I don't know.
Florida.
I don't know if I could go. I don't know if I can do it over there. We'll see. Well, I'll try.
I mean, it's tough, bro. I mean, I want to relearn Mandarin again, but there's so many other languages. Like, I really want to get into like Portuguese. Like, I've been in my soccer kick, and a lot of my coworkers are Brazilian, and
Yeah.
I feel like, especially with the World Cup, it's like perfect timing.
I feel like one of my biggest high school mistakes was I ended up taking French over Spanish because I thought at the time there were like prettier girls taking French at the time. You know what things were driving me during the high school years. But like once again, like I look back and I regret. I was like, man, I didn't know I'd end up in LA or whatnot. And I was like, man, if I knew Spanish, if I would have taken Spanish,
it's a cheat code.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
Yeah, and if I would have taken Spanish, I'd be like in LA. It would have been a lot easier. But
God mode, literally.
Yeah. I would not. Yeah. I barely ever use French at all. Like it's almost all forgotten anyways. But it's like I wouldn't have. But if I had taken Spanish, I'd probably be using it all the time here. So.
I mean, Spanish is like, it's such a beautiful language too. It's so fun. You know, everyone's so expressive. I used to know a little bit because I used to date this Puerto Rican girl. You know, and I went to Puerto Rico a couple times. But it's been a while since I've practiced my Spanish, Espanol. But it's kind of easy to, I guess what people are saying because some of the words you can kind of, you know, like find the correlation.
Yeah,
I think that's the hard thing with like Mandarin because you can't really guess.
You
know, there's like no alphabet.
Yeah.
Like Spanish, Indonesian's similar to Spanish. So our alphabet literally is probably almost the same. It's like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you can like sound things out.
Yeah.
Some of the words are similar to like English and Spanish, so you can kind of be like, oh, okay, I think I kind of understand. Mandarin, like you're screwed if you like.
Yeah, I can pick like I said I can get a little of it just because there are some similarities with Cantonese, which I understand, but it's still really difficult. So
you know the language of sales though, so that's all that matters. Sales sensei, tell me, how did you become such an expert, and what are the 3 tips for people that want to jump into the sales world?
I think you know, even like leading into my latest role where it has been more sales, like it's I think at the end of the day it's a lot, you know. I think I already had those built-in soft skills when it comes to like just doing well. At the end of the day, sales is kind of like a people job. It's a people, you know, like if you're good with people, you're good with understanding people. Yeah. You're good with empathy. You're good with like those kind of things. You'll probably get like, you know, what I'm doing now is not a traditional sales role, but you know, but it does end up there is a lot of kind of the relationship building and stuff like that. And I feel like that's kind of like where I have a strength in, which I probably can be. And I think that's how I kind of ended up pivoting because I've always, you know, even now, like I my wife says that I like to talk, and that's probably why I'm here with you right this moment in time. But it's like I think having that bit of it is just in your personality makes it easier to say. Like I don't feel like I'm that traditional salesperson. Like so, like my brother-in-law, wife's brother. Yeah, he's like into like true sales. Like they started off doing stuff with like cold calling and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, and I used to, you know, we used to joke like he could, you know, sell a refrigerator to an Esco, like that kind of thing. Right? And I'm not like that's not me, but but that being said, like, you know, I am able to like talk to people pretty like easily, like I make friends really easily, things like that. So, so I think that's like just having that bit of it is there, you know, and then just having that like I want to say like passion for like whatever it is you're selling or whatever, you know, that topic. You know, we happen to be in tech, and so that's, you know, my career path has always, you know, outside of that 6 months right in the beginning after college has been kind
trial
of
period.
That trial period. Yeah, like you're just like, no, this is not what you're going to be doing. You know, hard pivot. Yeah. So hard pivot, and that's okay. You know what, hard pivot turned out okay. but hard pivot into something that was more, tech focused, and I think just having like a kind of a passion for that has also helped. Being able to kind of like translate.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what, candidly, I think I've been good at, in the sense that I can kind of like translate kind of that tech focus and tech passion, but also relate that to like the people side of things is what kind of makes me good at what I do. Um, and so, having to be able to like put both those two worlds together, because candidly, it's not always the same, right?
Definitely
Like,
not. Yeah,
yeah, because like if you can start off in the tech world and you end up being like a software engineer or whatever, you don't meet a ton of software engineers who enjoy like talking to people outside of the,
not. Yeah.
right. They're not going to be talking to that.
You're like
VP.
bridging the gap between the business side to the engineering, like the technical side.
Yeah. So I feel like that's kind of like where that has kind of put me in a good place to where I am now.
Wow. And if anyone wants to like get into that field, what do you recommend them do? Toxicology degree?
No. Well, I mean, I think
if you had any tips.
Yeah. I think that's a good point though to say that, like, I would say don't necessarily get discouraged. I will say that, like, especially with my son, in college and things like that, where it's just like, it's not yes, you want to take a focus, and yes, hopefully that's where you end up. But it's not also the end all be all. Like, and a lot of times too, you might see like, what if I majored in sociology or English and I end up like doing something else, and like, and I was like, that's okay. I mean,
and the pivots, like you mentioned, is very important in life. You just have to. It's always going to happen. I mean, with the AI stuff, everything is just changing.
Exactly.
Every month. I mean, sometimes every day.
Yeah, and it's like, find what your passions are. Like, find what you're good at. Sometimes you don't know. I think that's what's tough too, when you're asking, like a 17-year-old, like coming, like, hey, what do you want to do the rest of your life? Like, tell me what that is, and then you're going to take 4 years of classes.
And then you're going to be in debt.
And this is what, and if you're fortunate enough to know what exactly you want, more power to you. Awesome, like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, I want to be whatever.
But it's really rare nowadays, because people also have multi-passions, multi-interests too, so it's like hard to pick just one,
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, so it's not the end all be all, right? If it is, if you know what you want to do, great. But if you're unclear or you're not sure, that's still okay, right? At the end of the day, it's like, being still young at the time, you can still explore what you want to be and what makes you happy. And people also hard pivot even when they're 25, 30. Like, people hard pivot all the time, and that's okay. And some people become actors later on in their lives, or some people want to do stand up or whatever.
Seriously, I've seen. I mean, a lot of people do it when they're getting older, and even when you're young. It's like, don't be afraid to make mistakes and pivot. That's like one of the biggest advices. Like, I moved to LA almost 3 years ago, and like before that, I was like just traveling, enjoying life. There's some fun clips on Instagram. But I was like, I didn't know I would ever work in tech at all. Like, I have no technical background. I'm a communication major, Asian studies minor, did theater, hosting podcast radio shows.
It's making sense now. See,
there, it all makes sense. But then I got this opportunity to be here, and I'm with the legend. It's all about pivots and just saying yes to a lot of opportunities. F around and find out kind of thing. Especially with this life, everything's so fast moving. You just got to say yes to a lot of opportunities and find out what sticks, and you'll find out eventually. And if you don't, you got to try more. There's so many opportunities out there. Say yes to all the happy hours too, and social events. Speaking of social events, the multiple social events we've had, more flowers to you, man, and the whole everybody. We love y'all. All of them are always so fun. And like I said, unlimited budget every single time.
I don't know what he's talking about here.
Limited budget.
Okay.
Korean barbecue. Man, what a fun time, man.
Yes.
Great energy, great people. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that was just.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to live in LA is the fact that we have like this most amazing K-town here in Los Angeles. Like, I hear like even people from folks from Korea come over and say, your food is better here.
This is crazy to say. That's insane.
So I love I love LA in that sense, where it's just like you have like these opportunities to have like such amazing cuisine. All different kinds, of course, but Korean especially, since I love Korean food. life's Korean.
Yes.
Whatever.
You know?
Right. But yeah, and I think even the last, but I'm always learning new things. Even like the last time too, when we had Korean barbecue together, and we had what's it,
Oh, the makgeolli?
Makgeolli.
Yes! Yes!
Yeah.
Shout out our girl Mary.
Yeah.
Yo, makgeolli is my favorite. I'll
Yeah.
die on the hill for that one.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
anyone doesn't know, you got to try it out. It looks like milk.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even taste like alcohol at all.
Yeah.
But you'll feel it after a couple bottles.
Yeah, it's the unfiltered.
Oh.
It's the fact that it's like unfiltered.
Yeah.
Unfiltered soju, right?
So, something like that. And the different flavors. Oh my goodness. The peach one was probably my favorite one. But I heard some people like there's like a chestnut flavor. I haven't tried that yet. So
I like chestnuts.
We might have to try that out for a special episode of the Patty Show. Actually,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
But yeah, that was a fun time. He drove me home. My homie over here. You know what I'm saying? Good times.
That's right. I remember
I
that
got
now.
good memory. You know?
I actually had forgotten about that, but I do remember that. Yes.
I never forget my homies that take care of me. My brother over here, and he also made sure we were safe during our crazy happy hour. Oh man, Scorpion Bowl.
Oh yeah, geez. Okay.
Man, that was a.
Yeah, I do like. Yeah, I don't. It's probably not the safest thing, and we're lucky we're outside of COVID. But yeah, having like community drinks.
But it's the social part.
Yeah.
You know, it brings people together.
Yeah. And by community drinks, I'm talking about just a big.
Yeah, big like punch bowl kind of thing.
Punch bowl.
Yeah.
With like 10 straws going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a great community builder. Shout out to everyone over there. It was a fun time. We survived somehow.
We did.
I don't know how. I haven't been drinking in a while.
We did.
The pineapple was good. That one was a pretty good one.
Yes.
Green tea shots. But I think it was also good because everyone was just like having a good time, you know?
Yeah.
Laughing, networking, met a lot of great people there.
Yeah.
Shout out to my Taiwanese homies. I met like a group of 6 or 6, 7 Taiwanese
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I remember. I did get a chance to talk to them as much after you introduced me.
Yeah, they're super fun. I guess they were doing. Some of them are in a startup or something, and in Taiwan apparently they give you grants to go to the States for. I don't know. I'll have them on the podcast eventually to explain it.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. I was like, wow, so you guys came all the way for this, and they was like, we're just having a fun time. You know?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool experience. Maybe Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't been to that region. I've only done Japan for like a layover, but Japan was fun for you though. It looked like.
Yeah. I love Japan. I want to go back multiple times. I feel like, I mean, the last summer when I went for we went for like 10 days, and I feel like that is just barely scratching the surface.
Where did you guys go exactly?
We ended up. So we started off in Tokyo. So we were in like Shibuya, that district first, and then we ended up taking like we took the bullet train over to like Kyoto. We were over there for a little bit.
How fast is that bullet train? How do you?
It's going like 100 plus, yeah.
So it gets there in like what, less than an hour or something?
I think it was like 90 minutes.
Oh my god!
It was really fast, but it goes so fast though that like you don't really feel it. You look at the window and it's just kind of zooming by, and you're just like, oh okay. After a while, you get used to it. Yeah, you get desensitized to how fast you're actually going, and then you get there. And I've been in LA. I mean, granted, I've been to New York a few times and like taking the subway system, whatever. But like, I feel like their transit and it's like so amazing. Like, you can pretty much get to anywhere through trains and stuff like that.
LA needs help.
Yeah, LA needs help.
We're getting better. Not too bad, but
yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen during the Olympics. A different story. But yeah, like, so we were in Kyoto for a little bit, and then we ended up going back to what's the other Tokyo area? Can't remember off the top of my head, but the other famous area, district in Tokyo. We were there. It's a bigger shopping area, and it was just like, it was amazing. I do definitely want to go back. All my kids, my wife, we all want to go back. So that'll probably be a thing coming up. But then I've never been to Korea either, so I do want to go head over to Korea too at a certain point. So just like Asia. So.
Okay. Where have you traveled then besides like?
Not too many other places. Okay. I mean, a lot of places throughout the States,
yeah.
and
like, but internationally, mainly Japan was like.
Yeah, like I've been to like London. I've been to Spain.
Oh, nice.
I've been to London. I've been to like Barcelona.
No way, I want to go to Barcelona.
Yeah, Barcelona was really cool because we walked on, like, they said that it was like the paved road that ever was.
What? That's
Yeah,
history right there.
yeah, yeah. I've been there, but mostly more like North America, like
Yeah, yeah.
Canada and a bunch of South America.
When you went to Barcelona, were you a dad already yet, or?
I was a dad, yes, but my kids weren't there with me at the time, so that was like a work trip actually. I think.
Oh wow!
Yeah. That was a work
I
trip.
need a work trip to Barcelona. Hook me up, somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I got lucky with that one, being able to go over. But yeah, most of my London experience, most of my European experiences have been like work related. So like I haven't been able to explore too much, but but stuff I enjoy nonetheless. And I think, especially now that my kids are older, I think they would appreciate more of the things that we would end up doing, like either in Europe or just even going, just going across Asia or whatever.
Yeah, any travel is so like amazing. Like during COVID, when I went to Indonesia, I mean, I was just traveling everywhere, like all around Indonesia, learning so much. In Bali, I was there like 4 months, and then you get the travel bug. I went to Northern Europe, Sweden, Denmark, what is it? Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, all those different countries, and you learn a lot about culture, about relationships, about food, a lot.
Tell me more about these relationships during your time.
And a lot of names, that you forget.
Oh, wow.
I wish I would have had those tips.
Yeah. Okay.
But rest assured, mom and dad, I am not a father. So
okay.
that's all that matters, I don't think Southeast Asia, though, I also had a really good time in, man. Have you been to Southeast Asia?
I do want to go, but
let me know when you go to Indonesia. I got you, man. I love that place. There's so much there. Bali's great, of course, but there's so much to do in Indonesia, like the northeast side where my mom's from. It's kind of close to the Philippines, so there's this like amazing scuba diving place area that my uncle actually he does like some snorkeling, scuba diving over there. But it's just so beautiful, like the nature, and you feel like a king over there because the dollar goes a long way.
Oh yeah.
So
in most countries over there.
Oh yeah. That's why backpacking was so easy. Like I'm like you could survive like a week with less than $100. Like including like a place to stay in. And it's you're not even like skimping out. You're eating the good food, doing like crazy activities, meeting a lot of great people, of course, crazy adventures. But yeah, man, I feel like people just need to travel more.
It is. But are there, so I do like Indonesian food too. I mean, you have to like hook me up with like the places here in LA that I can go to. I've been to like one or two. I remember going to one close in Westwood over here.
Okay.
But yeah, you have to tell me where all the great Indonesian places are because I do like Indonesian food.
I'll be honest, okay?
Okay.
No filter, okay? It's hard to find good Indonesian food in the States.
Real. Okay. Why?
Because the authentic flavor isn't there because they have to make, which makes sense because Indonesian food naturally is just very spicy and seasoned. So they have to make it for a palate of like a regular American person. So it's like they can't really put that oomph to it. And I'd say New York has the best like Indonesian food though.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah. So if you ever want to really get like an authentic experience without going, New York probably has like some of the best, like in Queens. Oh my God, there's so many great spots over there. There's this new spot though I heard is pretty nice. It's funny enough. It's called Paddy, Padi, Paddy.
Okay. Yeah. I won't forget it. Yeah. Okay, easy to
I
remember.
haven't been to it yet, but maybe we're gonna get the crew over there. Seems like a good spot. Shout out to them out there. But yeah, it's hard to find it because, like I said, especially they kind of like I don't want to say watered down. Like, what are they? Like it's just not as authentic.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing against these restaurants. Yeah, that's just my.
So are you saying it's because of the spice level, or is it because of the missing the ingredients?
It's a little bit of both. I would say because also to get the flavor you need the spice. It's hard to like omit it without, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
But you have a good spice tolerance, though, right? Don't worry, I have a bad one too. That's also why.
I don't know my spice tolerance, but when it's trying new things or something like I enjoy, I will go for it. Like I'm not adverse to it. I'm not going to be like seeking it out, especially if it's like food that I like eat all the time. Yeah. But if I'm like trying new things, like if we're going to an Indonesian restaurant here and you're like, you gotta try this, but it's spicy, I'd be like, let's go.
My boy. See, that's my boy right
there. Yeah, of course. Right. You got to be open to like trying to, especially like how are you want to try and taste it like in its most authentic form versus like watering it down, whatever you do, right? Yeah. Just because like, okay, well, this is how it should be tasted and made, and like be open to it, because you never know, like, even if it's spicy, if it's like meant to be and that's why it's so delicious, then
Yeah.
then, yeah.
Faux shizzle. Just like your name. Where did you get that nick? Is that a nickname or just a username?
That's that's just to play out my last name. It's just like it was every time I used to hear that from like any Snoop song or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh yeah. Or like
Yeah.
MTV.
Yeah.
I watched some of that.
So when I was like coming up with a Instagram handle like way back in the day, I was like, oh, I wonder, like, because I forget who used to say, like, someone used to call me that. I don't even remember who it was, and then I like, but I was like, I wonder if I did it with the spelling and it was available. So
Wow,
anyways,
it's perfect. It is,
yeah.
and it's history now. Like I love that little name. I mean, those funny nicknames growing up are also just so funny. Some of my friends call me P Dog.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, I get the street
Okay,
cred
P-Dog.
now. P Dog.
Yeah.
Okay, don't play with P
Uh-huh.
Dog.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't even know how to fight. So.
Oh, okay. No St. Patty's Day or anything
Oh,
like that?
I've had that one. Patty cake.
Patty cake. Okay. Yeah.
Patty cake.
Uh,
Patty Daddy, which is kind of crazy because
okay. I don't know if I want to call you my how. Let me add. Hey, my Patty Daddy. Like, should I call you that?
We're just gonna clip that. The episode is just gonna be Jeff calling me
my Patty Daddy. Maybe that's. Let's start that off in the beginning. Of
we'll just start in the beginning,
Yeah.
and then it'll lead to the episode. Now we know. Okay, I love you, man. You're the best. Let's finally go to our talking points, man.
Okay.
We kind of went all over the place, but that's what the show's about.
Yeah.
Learning about you and having a good time. Okay, so our first talking point on passion, structure for creativity. Mm-hmm. How does structure support your passions?
I think that it's like, especially as I've gotten older, and I realize that it just, for me, the structure makes things easier. Like like if I have things more, I don't know if it's like the dad in me. I don't know if it's just me getting older or whatnot. Obviously, I think when you're younger, you can be okay with being a little more carefree, a little like
less responsibility.
Yeah. But I think the structure too kind of just helps me. Whether it's like this is my routine, this is how I'm thinking, this is like how I'm keeping the house together. This is what I'm doing in my job. Like, just having that predictability. It's not only even the structure, but the predictability for me at this point, or this like at my stage of my life, like, just makes things easier for me to progress. And I think, not that I'm adverse to like spontaneity or like the unknown or anything.
Very spontaneous, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's moments like that, but I think when you're thinking like day to day work, like the routine of like this is my morning routine. This is I'm checking this out. I'm checking my chat out. Checking my whatever it is. This is what I'm eating. This is or this is what I'm doing. Like, I don't eat breakfast anymore. Like, I've just like I've just it's weird to say, for health reasons I'm like fasting and intermittent fasting, and I'm skipping breakfast because at work I enjoy breakfast the most, but I know I'll eat the most, and it's probably not the healthiest part of like, so maybe I'm just
food too.
So maybe I'm gonna skip that, and and so that's like become part of my routine. Like, another part of my routine for every day literally is I will walk 15 minutes every day after dinner, and I've literally been doing it. I think it was like for 400 straight days I've done. Even when I like go out to travel or work, I'll make sure like the hotel has like a gym with a treadmill or whatever. And like after a meal, I'll try and I'll get the steps in, and not only has it like created more structure in my life, but also I think I'm healthier. I feel better. Like, just
you look better too.
Oh, thanks.
Glowing.
Yeah, it's both inside and out. Like, so like and I know that's more like health and whatever, but I think also just having that structure too makes like it also from a mental mental standpoint too. Like, I know where I'm at, things like that. So I think that's where like the structure is, and that's where it helps me then. It then opens it up to, like, to your point, like, if I have that structure, I can still then, have the days where like we can be spontaneous and have
Yes,
fun and
yeah.
things like that and stuff like that. But knowing that, like, you know,
Mhm.
I can get back into like more of a straight line
Yeah,
and
equilibrium,
yeah,
so to
equally,
speak.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
You have balance in your life. I think
Mhm.
that's like that. Maybe that's like that's what we're trying to. That's what I'm trying to say here. It's like
Yeah.
having that structure helps me maintain balance in my life, where I can have ups and downs, but
Mhm.
like you're able to easily kind of get back to your like normal, which is like your equilibrium should be like a happy state, right?
Mhm.
And so like I'm in a happy state, you know, most of the time, and I can there can be ups and downs.
Yeah, no, definitely, and then I think that's really important to point out because some people go a little too much with the
Yeah,
crazy
yeah,
patty party and then
yeah,
too much pleasure.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I've been there. Like when I
Right,
was
right,
traveling, I was
right,
I don't know too much fun.
right,
I'm not gonna lie,
right.
too much. What is it? Was that hedonistic?
Hedonist.
Hedonistic like
Yeah,
lifestyle.
yeah, you're
The
hedon. Okay.
hedonist or what is it? I don't know the exact
Uh-huh.
way to say it, but that one can take a toll on you too because then you're not sleeping. You're just like
Yeah.
dehydrating yourself, and you feel that real quick. And you can't really do anything if your health is like out the window. And it's not even just about like look and aesthetics. It's also like what you feel internally. I feel like if I eat like crap,
Mhm.
even though let's say it's below my caloric maintenance,
Yeah.
I still will feel like crap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I'm like, oh
Yeah. Yeah.
man, like
Yeah.
the bath number 2 feels like a number 5. I'll tell you,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like it's not even just the external. The external helps a lot. That's why Asian don't raise him. That's
Yeah.
why he looks like he's 29, and he is 29.
I am very.
29.
I am 29.
Yes, that's my brother, right? You know, that's my brother. But that's I love that you mentioned that whole equilibrium balance because like when there are those moments like our nights out where
Mhm.
maybe we tip the scale a little bit more for pleasure and fun. It's easy to go back to that equilibrium because we don't have to do that much to get it back to normal, so to
Mhm.
speak. Because if we never had, if you already started in the bottom of like going crazy every time, and then you go even lower, to get up again is gonna uphill
Yeah.
battle.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're just some people never get back to it. So the fact that you have that little
Yeah.
equilibrium and you're making those quote unquote sacrifices of like not doing breakfast, it helps with all the other stuff because now you can go crazy at dinner time.
Yeah. Well, candidly too, like between like, and obviously you know this because you're so into fitness too as well. It's like maintaining like that route. So that part is like a lot of it is routine and structure,
Yep.
like work because that is like consistency, and I feel like even if it's not like extremes, like you don't have to be like benching tons of weight or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever, like even if it's like a 15-minute walk every day, even if it's like lightweight, whatever, as long as you're consistent with it, like your body will be better off for it.
No, absolutely. I love it. Damn, look at this guy, man. I told
Yeah.
my sensei in everything. Consistency is key.
Yeah.
It's better to do like one rep a day than
Yeah.
burning yourself out. And then that's how you also get injury risk. I've seen
Yeah.
so many
Yeah.
unfortunate injuries where people are like maxing out on a bench press,
Yeah.
squat, or like pushing too much when you're playing soccer. And then you're
Yeah.
just like injured for months on end. And then going back to that whole example of if you're down here, it's hard to go uphill. So
Yeah.
it's always nice to find that little coasting,
Yeah.
in between kind of thing.
Yeah,
So.
and absolutely, and I think part of it too is like even if you're not there yet, it's the whole thing about it. And I know the days are off, but sometimes people will say like 30 days, do something for 30 days to build a habit or something like
I
right.
forget the exact thing.
Yeah,
There's like
yeah.
something that
Yeah, and so like I think that's always the hard part is like trying to get to that baseline balance. It takes a little bit of work to get there, but once you get there, like it becomes like so much easier.
It's second nature.
Yeah,
Like you mentioned with the whole example of the walking after dinner.
Yeah.
Like, you probably don't even think about it and you're already just
Yeah. I'm doing it.
Like you feel antsy probably after dinner. Like, oh, I'm just gonna get up.
Yeah.
I have that same thing too. I always just try to just keep walking whenever I have a chance, like whenever I'm calling somebody or anything like that. And it feels weird when I'm like sitting down and I'm walking. I wish I could do this podcast walking. That'd be kind of sick. If I
we should do a walking podcast.
Yeah, I like that.
Your stick, yeah.
I need someone maybe because that's too much. Like my hand would.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Once I get super Hollywood out there,
That'll be soon. I think that'll be soon.
I appreciate you for that. But man, that goes to my second point on pleasure, man. Comfort in routine. You were talking about it earlier, but what daily habits feel stabilizing to you?
Daily habit. I think that's similar to the same structure of your question about structure. Like like what are my like the walking, like the skipping breakfast, like doing things in a certain way each day so that it's predictable. So I wouldn't say like there's like very specific habits that like everyone should be doing because I think everyone
It depends, right? Yeah.
Everyone is individual like with what you are like. you know, and I'll talk about sleep in a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
just like, you know, everyone's different when like with the amount of sleep. You have to find what the right
Yeah.
piece is.
I agree.
You have to find what the right amount, even if it's like how much you're eating or how much you're exercising. You have to find what's right for you to keep you in the right space, um, and frame of mind and things like that, right? And you know, I and I don't want to talk about like the initial challenge, right? Because like, you know, if it was like, oh, I want to pick up running and I want to run in the mornings, like, yeah, it's going to suck in the beginning,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But once you get there, you're in the right place. So it's like, so there's always going to be some work to get to what it is, um, but once you know those daily habits become second nature, to your point, then it's like that's what you are, and that's what kind of keeps your body in balance, and it kind of keeps you healthy. But you know, from both a physical and mental
Yeah.
standpoint too, and I think that's kind of like, you know, and I think that's why like sleep is so important, where it's just like you got to make sure you're rested and things like that. So
What's your nighttime routine then? What's the legendary Jeff routine?
well, my routine, like when I'm winding down, like I don't think it's all too different from a lot of people. Like at night, where it's just like, okay, I'm not thinking about work, right? Yeah. You're shutting it down. You're trying, and I don't know if you need to compartmentalize or whatnot, but it's like I'm not going to be thinking about work, and then it's something where I can decompress, where it's like. It could be a multitude of things with me. It could be just like, you know, just watching TV, watching movies, playing some video games, or it could be hanging out with my family or my son and my daughter. I've been we've been playing board games together, which is
nice,
kind of funny.
awesome.
Like, yeah,
Monopoly.
my daughter and I have been playing Stratego together.
What's that?
Stratego. It's kind of like you have tiles, and each tile has like a military person and a number.
Okay.
And then like it's kind of like a fancier battleship.
Oh, he's a
yeah, yeah, but you can move, and then like once you interact with the other, you know, like if your number is lower, is it lower or higher? It's higher. Yours wins, but there's like different rules and stuff.
Oh, cool, man.
But we I like in one of my cabinets at home, we probably have a good like 40-ish different like board games and stuff like that.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like a fun. I gotta check that one out. I'm not undefeated in Monopoly though.
Oh, my son, my son is really good at Monopoly.
The thing
I
is,
don't know. He's
Monopoly,
very cutthroat.
Yeah, that's
are you cutthroat?
Well, I'd say I'm
For
just
Monopoly?
firm. I'm firm. With
You're
it,
firm.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. You're just like, that's my property. Like, and then you're just like, hand over the cash. Do you say that?
You know, I make deals.
Oh, you make deal. Okay.
You know, I'm a nice guy. I like to negotiate.
Yeah.
You know, I guess it's the salesy.
Yeah.
But the thing with Monopoly, I can't play anymore because it's too long. I cannot play.
It's impossible. Yeah. It is, and so we tried not to like.
Yeah.
But
and
that
it gets
game,
heated real quick. That game.
Yeah.
People get upset real quick.
Seriously, yeah. But we got like Scrabble. We got all those games.
Bananagrams, have you played?
Yeah, we have Bananagrams.
I love Bananagrams.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a throwback in college. I love that one.
Yeah, so we have like all those. So like that's another thing. Like those things like that help me kind of like unwind and do that. So it's not always screen time.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's good too because it's like there aren't any screens, so no blue light, and it's like mindless a little bit. Even though you have to be strategic for some of the games, it's like more like I'm not worrying about the crazy stuff I have to deal with work tomorrow or next weekend or whatever. I'm just worrying about beating my daughter in this game. You know, it's the simple stuff. You know, and it's so hard because our devices can do so much, which is both a benefit, of course, but also can be a crutch because you're like, oh, then I can also, pop in my email real quick. I need to stop. That's my worst habit. Every time I end up looking at my email, I'm like.
Yeah, because that can take you. That'll take you back to where you probably don't want to be. And
it's also like you get into the rabbit hole. You're like, oh man. I mean, it's hard because also like in acting, I have to always look at my emails just in case like something pops up like an audition or like I'm making it to the next.
Oh
one.
yeah.
So it's so hard finding that balance, But what I've been doing is I put like my blue light blocking glasses on right now. At least like that helps a little bit. And before that, I forget what time. Yeah, like I try to be in bed. 9:15 pretty early because I wake up early.
Yeah.
4:15 in the morning. So anytime before or after 9, I'm like I have to just charge my phone and.
Yeah,
what I've been doing intentionally though is like what is it called? Putting my phone on. What's it called?
Silent? No.
Not that. Not lower power mode. The opposite of it. Just regular. You know how you can put it on low power mode?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
saves energy.
yeah.
I just don't put that on, so I let it drain.
Oh,
So
okay.
then near the end of the night, it's like 8:30. My phone's already low anyways.
Oh, okay.
So then now there's friction for me to charge it to use it again. You know what I'm saying?
I see. I see what you're saying. Okay.
So putting a disadvantage
that's a good idea.
is an advantage out there, you know?
Yeah.
But sometimes I still plug it in.
Yeah.
So I'm not perfect, guys. I'm not perfect.
Yeah. And then I'll say too, like when it is bedtime, like I've gotten, and I've gotten really good about this because I will say that like for a long time I was like a light sleeper, and I think it was, and my wife like falls asleep so easily. Like there was a stretch of time where like it's just hard for me to fall asleep, um, and so and that's maybe because things are racing through your head or whatever, you're thinking about work or whatever. So I think I've gotten really good about like when it's bedtime, I literally can try and like I will just picture a black screen. I will picture like there's like a black wall kind of right in front of us right now. It's just like I will just picture that, and I'll just like I will like visibly in my head just be looking at it, trying not to think about anything else.
That's crazy.
And then over time, even if like you've had a stressful day or there's other things to think about, but you want to just kind of like check out and tune out, like, and this could be different for everyone. Everyone has like a different nighttime routine, but the most difficult thing is to just like not try and set yourself aside at that point in time, because otherwise if you're thinking about like, oh, that shitty thing that happened during the day, whatever, you're never going to fall asleep, right? Because that's usually when your mind races a lot of times right before bed. So
it's the worst timing, right?
Yeah. It's like, oh, what do I have to do tomorrow or whatever, or like, oh, I got that podcast tomorrow. I gotta think of all it. It's like, no, just like those things will be fine tomorrow. These things are gonna, so try and put up like a wall or whatever it is. And I feel like I've gotten really good at that.
That's awesome.
Where I'm not thinking about a lot of things. I have it blank in my screen, and then that helps me just like fall asleep.
Easy shutdown.
Yeah, it just.
Man, I gotta try that out because that helps a lot. Because like you mentioned with the whole podcast and other stuff, even though I'm here with my homie, you still get nervous because you want to do good on anything you want to do. So every single time I'm ready to sleep, it's always that one thing like, oh, you have something tomorrow. I have to like literally tell everybody, like, shut up, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Black screen or sheep counting, whatever it is, because it's just like when the mind starts racing, it's just so hard to.
Yeah, and then you look at your clock and it's like 4 a.m. and you're not asleep yet, and then
like, great,
or 3 a.m. or whatever, and it's ruined your day. So like if you can kind of try and build a routine like that in your head, and like I said, it's different for everyone.
Yeah, just experiment, try it out.
Yeah. It's like maybe breathing, maybe it's thinking about nothing or a black screen or whatever, and that if that works for you, and once again, like when we talked about building a habit, it's like, and then just do that every night. Yeah. And then after a certain while, it becomes like easier. Because people may be like, oh, it's easy for you to just think about a dark screen and just go to bed. And it's like, no,
it took me time.
It took me time. Yeah. And so now when I can kind of like tune out, and maybe I think it's a good thing.
Hey, no, I think that's an amazing thing. I'm gonna try that out, and I'll let you know how it goes. Everyone try that out. Put it in the comments and everything.
Yep.
All right, our third talking point on positivity, returning to the basics.
Yes.
How do you reset when life feels chaotic?
How do I reset? Like, I think going back to like the balance thing, where I don't you try not to have too many highs or too many lows. I even as of a couple years ago, I forget, someone told me that it's like, don't sweat the little things. Like, I try to do that in my life now, where something may have bothered me before. Like even I'll even give you an example of like oh, I got into this little argument with my wife when we were like doing the dishes or something or whatever, right? And like she would get pissed off, I get pissed off, whatever, right? And in my mind, it was just like, that was like, usually like 2 hours later, you're like, usually when you think back over it, you're just like, that was like the stupidest argument. Why did we argue with each other, whatever, right? So why not, like, I've learned to kind of like nip that in the bud right on the beginning, where it's just like, don't sweat the little things. Like, is this really important? Do I need to, like, not that I'm like deferring or being like, I'm like letting her win the argument, like just in this example.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do that. It's just like, it's not worth it because that will, it doesn't make my life any easier, like, or like, I'm not going to live longer or whatever. Like, I will probably live longer if I don't stress over certain things like that. So I try not to stress over things like that. Even like a good example might be like, do you road rage? Like,
yeah.
My wife,
especially in LA, you know.
Like my wife always will say to me, like, how are you so like, my wife will be like, F you, and
cutting you off,
like,
it's so common,
she will, and then, but like, I will just be like, whatever,
it is what it is.
You know, like, it's like me screaming at you in my car. Maybe it's like an endorphin release or whatever for me to do that. Maybe some people need it, but like for me, it's just like it doesn't matter. It's a little thing. Like, I'm still safe in my car. I'm still driving. Nothing's actually happened here or whatever. And so I try and take things that way, where I don't need to reset. Yeah. Because I've never strayed too far.
Blown out of proportion.
I've never strayed too far from it. And so, like, once again, like, you know,
everyone's different.
Absolutely. Everyone's different. This is kind of how I kind of put it. So kind of maintain that balance. Don't stray too far from it. Don't sweat the little things, because there are most things in life, when you actually think in the grand scheme of your life, are kind of like these little things. And, you know, why did I things a lot of times will, you know, most of the time will just work out. Mm-hmm. And so I don't need to stress over. Oh, that's just extra stress. Especially, I feel like, you know, as I'm getting older, I don't need that extra stress in my life. Like, all it's going to do is just make my life shorter and less enjoyable. And I want to be as happy as I can be, well, you know, as I can be, right? I want to enjoy friendships, relationships. I want to enjoy the things I do, my family, spend time with my family, whatever it may be, and not sweat the little things to kind of, so that requires me to reset. Every now and then that happens and you can't avoid it, but I think, like, you can always kind of shift yourself back to the right spot, frame of mind.
Wow. Well, Jeff, you embody a life full of passion, pleasure, and positivity. That's why we have you on the Patty Show. I'm so grateful for all the knowledge you give to everybody out there. I'm so grateful for you. Mm-hmm. What are the next, I guess, projects for you? Are you going to be on another podcast, maybe?
Yeah. You know what? If you want me back, I'll come back.
We'll have him back. Where can we find you on Instagram?
Foshizole, FOSHIHZZLE. That's my Instagram. So.
LinkedIn, maybe.
You can look me up on LinkedIn. It's LinkedIn. What is LinkedIn? You can on LinkedIn. It's just Jeffrey Shih, JEFFREYSHIH. That's where I'm at on LinkedIn.
Yes, well, shout out to you, man. I'm so grateful. This is a fun episode. We usually like to end with a little bow and an arigato for all the people out there. But remember, y'all, you can find us at Patty Show Podcast on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, pattyshow.podbean.com, pattysetiati.com/podcast, all the good stuff. Just find my name. You'll find all the great stuff. This episode's going to come out, I think, after 4th of July. Happy Independence, all that good stuff. And whenever you're ready, bro, we can do the bow on 3. 1, 2, 3. Arigato, everybody. Thanks, everybody. Woo! Thanks for joining me on this episode of The Patty Show. I hope you had as much fun as I did exploring the crossing point of the 3 Ps: passion, pleasure, and positivity. If you want to keep the Patty Party going, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and all social platforms at Patty Show Podcast. Share this episode and leave a positive review. pattysetiati.com/podcast, as well as pattyshow.podbean.com have got more of your Patty Show needs. In the meantime, keep passionately pursuing your personal paradise. Arigato.